What is up, people? Welcome back to the channel, Weston Farm Garage. As you saw in the last video, we picked up a new little toy for us to work on, a new little project, all right? Now, as if you also watched the last video, the link will be down in the description. I'm wearing the exact same thing I wore because it's the exact same day. I'm filming this video literally after I filmed that first one. I'm just on top of it, y'all. I went on like a year. No one sees me, no one hears from me, and now I'm back. And this puppy has some issues. I mean, I definitely overpaid for this bike, but I might be able to make up some of my money back in literally just these tires. These tires are like $1,000, so I'll make some of my money back. But we have to start tearing this puppy down a little bit because we got a lot coming for it, all right? We got a lot in store. But for the time being, we have to fix the issues that are with this bike. And some of the issues, I'll just go down the list, needs the rear axle on the left side replaced because it is, I don't know if you can see in there, it's not supposed to make that noise, not at all. So we have that to fix. Then there's a weird popping going on the front end. Like, you can kind of hear it. I gotta figure out what that is. I'm not too sure what that is yet. There's a little bit of play in the rack and pinion, so that could be a factor. So we gotta fix that. What else do we have to fix? There's something else. I know there's something else. I'll remember it when we get to it. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but this bike isn't bad. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I've seen worse. Let me turn it on. How many hours this thing got on it? So, it's got 4883 on the odometer, which is a little more than what my Rancher had. It's got 61 on the trip, 83 on that trip. It has a little over 1,000 hours. So that's not bad, honestly. It's really not that bad. I'm gonna let y'all hear it because, oh, and the exhaust. That's the other thing. This exhaust is loud. Like, listen to this, y'all. All right. I'm having to yell probably for y'all to hear me. I don't know. But that is insanely loud. Like, don't get me wrong. I love loud, but that's ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna just get on it one time for y'all to understand. She is also running extremely rich. Like, way too much fuel is getting in there. So I gotta fix that before I foul those plugs. But, so that's on the agenda. And then, if we can get all that fixed within this video, I might take her for a little rip at the end. But stay tuned, I'm gonna start tearing this bike down. All right, you guys, we got it tore down. Got mostly all the front plastics off. Front rack off. Got the airbox lid off. About to start tearing into the airbox. Get that off. And then, upon further inspection, I've noticed that it needs a tie rod. I don't know how well y'all are gonna be able to see that, but she's got some play versus this side, wheels turning. This side, wheels not turning. Tie rod's moving. So, needs a new tie rod. Went out here and looked on the parts bike, and the parts bike actually seems to have fairly good tie rods. Being as it looks pretty rusty, but I mean, it's pretty stiff steering, honestly. So, and I need to figure out what that squeak is. That squeak is gonna irritate the crap out of me if I don't fix that. It might be the tie rod, honestly, I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna irritate me if I don't fix that. Just put a good lubrication on the rack and pinion and everything. Fix that tie rod, it should be all right. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna keep tearing into it. Probably get the carb off eventually so I can look into that and see why it's running rich. But stay tuned, this is gonna be awesome. All right, y'all, I made a little bit more progress. Not a whole lot. I'm kind of just giving y'all a quick little update. I haven't really made it too much further, but I changed my mind on taking the carb off because I did some research online, and from what I can see, it is probably running rich because it is just getting too much fuel. And I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that just yet because this bike is a little bit more electronic than my 350 Rancher was. I'll tell you that right now. It's got a Dynatec digital performance module right here. And I'm thinking what's happening is that Dynatec is pumping way too much fuel into that car. But at the same time, the bike idles. So if I could at least figure out the sputtering, that would make me happy. But if not, hey, the bike still runs. So, I mean, it's not gonna bum me out if I don't fix the sputtering. I looked into the exhaust a little bit, and it looks like this is an entire HMF kit that someone ordered and put on here, because I think these pipes are a little bit bigger. And this HMF is hollow. Like hollow. There is nothing in there. Nothing stopping that thing, with an echo tip, might I add. And the Y is basically right here. So it's gonna be a tight squeeze. What I may end up having to do, it's dark out here, y'all probably won't be able to see too well. I don't have a light. Oh yeah, I do, on my phone. What I'll probably end up having to do, other side of the bike. What I may have having to do is just take this kit off, this whole exhaust system off, and do it that way, because that's probably my only option. Because there's no way that I can get this muffler, because this muffler right here is also, I think, a little bit longer than the HMF. So yeah, I don't know what my plan's gonna be for that, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I will pick you guys up when I get some more stuff done. Right now I am about to jack up the back of the bike so I can replace this rear axle, or at least get it off, because I need to get the other axle out of the parts bike, which I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but just stay tuned. I'll let y'all know. All right, y'all. Kid you not even 5 minutes after I set my camera down, jacked up the back, and look what we got. I say that's a bad wheel bearing, son. The other side's fine. The other side's minty. She's solid, ain't no play in that. That side though, rough. So, need some wheel bearings. Yay. All right, you guys, I've ran into a bit of a pickle. I got this side off. Yeah, that wheel bearing is pretty shot. But this other side is my side that I'm having some trouble with. I got it all apart, but don't know how I'm going to get the CV axle out, because the CV joint is completely separated in there. Like, there's nothing left. And you need kind of an intact CV axle to pull a CV axle. So I'm gonna have to do some digging online and see how exactly you get a CV axle out when it is completely separated on one of the joints. So I think that is gonna wrap it up for my working on it tonight. Made some pretty good progress. Y'all cannot see me at all now. Yeah, y'all really can't see me. Let me get up here to the shop really quickly. Oh, dang it, I forgot to turn the fan off. Well, y'all are gonna see me again. Blooper reel, all right. So that's gonna wrap up my endeavors on the bike tonight. I'll probably come out here in the morning, keep tearing into it once I figure out what I'm gonna do about that CV axle. So I will be back in the morning. What's up, guys? It's the next day. We're gonna start tearing back into this fooler again. I did some research last night about that CV axle, and only real thing that I could find is either you order a tool online to remove it with a slide hammer. I don't have a slide hammer. I really need one. That seems to be a reoccurring issue with these CV axles, and I don't I don't remember ever locking my shop door last night, but I guess I did. So I have to now go back inside and get the key. But, so it's either I buy a slide tool and a tool that goes behind the CV axle, in between the CV axle and the differential, and you take a slide hammer and you beat it out that way, or you take apart the other side of the four-wheeler and take a punch and beat out the CV axle that you want out from the other side, which I'm gonna have to probably do because I don't have the tool, and I have to take apart the other side anyway to replace that wheel bearing. So let me get this key and we'll get y'all back in the shop. All right, y'all, we're in the shop now. First order of business, we gotta get this park four-wheeler in here because a lot of parts are coming off of it in this video. We have at least, because instead of ordering brand new parts, I figure I'm just gonna use the old parts that I have. So this wheel bearing right here needs to be replaced, but I'm just gonna take the whole actual hub, or not hub, I'm not exactly sure what you call that. Leave it down in the description if you know. I'm gonna take this off of the other four-wheeler and just replace it, because I think the other one has a good wheel bearing. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm probably gonna do the exact same thing for the tie rod on the front end, and I'm probably gonna take the exhaust off the other four-wheeler too, the whole exhaust system. So that's gonna be fun. So let's get this parts four-wheeler in here and then we'll get to work. All right, y'all, we got the parts bike in here. Here's the CV axles on the back. They're rough, but I think they're usable, hopefully. This bike is pretty rusty. It's seen weather for quite a while, but so we'll get that CV axle pulled out, but first we have to get that one out. So we have to take apart the other side of the rear, whatchamacallit, suspension. Yeah. So I'm gonna tear that apart and then I'll update y'all from there. Alrighty, we got this side of the four-wheeler torn apart. Got the CV axle out. Those are like super easy to pull out. Normally, when there's no like internal issues in the diff, you just yank on it, pulls right out. Now, we have to take a punch. I don't know if y'all be able to see in there or not. Turn on my flashlight, maybe y'all can see a little better. The CV axle's in there, and ooh, this diff looks, that seal is pretty rough, man. Yikes. All right, well, so then basically what we have to do is take a punch, put it in there, and beat the other CV axle out. So I'll let you know how that goes. Hopefully I don't break anything. All right, that came out quite easy. In case you're wondering, CV axles are not supposed to be able to do that. Or yeah, no. Trash. So, now we have that taken apart. Now we can work on taking this bike apart. So, gotta get this one on some sort of jack stand and then use this jack to get this one taken apart. So, this is actually going quite well. Knock on wood somewhere that it continues to go good. All right, y'all, made a little bit more progress. We got this end of the four-wheeler tore apart, but the CV axle is stuck inside of the bearing. Can't get it out, and I don't have a hydraulic press here. I've tried using gear pullers. It's not budging, so I'm gonna go use a hydraulic press. So that should help us out with that. So I'm gonna go run to a buddy of mine's house to press this out, and then when I get back, we'll keep working on the four-wheeler. All right, guys, we're back from my buddy's house. Got the CV axle out of that, I still don't know the word. I'm gonna have to look that up. I got the CV axle out of this part, out of the part that holds the bearing, and this is the part that was on the CV axle. When I pressed it out, the rear race for the bearing on the back side stayed on the CV shaft, so I kind of had to like do some sketchy stuff to get it off. So there's a good chance that this bearing will blow up. Really hope that doesn't happen, but there's a good chance. I was gonna take the bearing off the other side, but then I was like, well, this one's sort of, it still turns, it's just not well. But so I got that one off, and I got all this side put back together. Now I just gotta go get the spindle over there and get it on here. And then on the rear, I mean not on the rear, on the other side, I'm working on it right now. Got the CV axle put in. And now we're gonna work on putting on the upper control arm and this part, get it all back together. So I'll update you guys when I get all that done. All right, y'all. I'm hitting record and stop so much that I'm forgetting what all I told y'all. But so we got the rear end put back together. We're working on the shocks right now. I was having a little bit of trouble getting the things to readjust on the four-wheeler because I don't know, I just couldn't get them to turn. So what I did is I took this one off, and I'll show y'all when I bring it over to the other one. When I bring it over to the vise, I mean, I'll show y'all what I mean. But I take it off and I put it in the vise, and I take a punch, or like a flathead punch, and a hammer, and I hammer it till it turns because I don't have the little spanner wrench to turn it. So, and I couldn't get the spring compressors to work because the spring compressors were too big and the shocks are too small for a ratchet strap. So we're doing it the scary way, but it's working out. I'll show y'all when we get it over there on the vise. All right, guys. Oh, dropped my wrench. My punch. Ugh. All right, so got it on the vise now. As you can see, I got it in there just on where the bushing is, and now it won't rotate in there. So now I can take my punch and chisel it in. I'll see if I can show y'all guys. Yeah. Let's get your punch in there. This shock, I feel like, is going to give me trouble. This shock's giving me some trouble because some of these are, it's kind of there, it's almost there. I just got to get it over that ridge. Ugh, almost there. These splines are stripping out. Come on. Yeah, these splines are stripping, or they're getting chewed up by my punch. I don't know if y'all can see that in there. They're just getting eaten up. So, but it's almost there. It's almost over the ridge. If I can just get it over that ridge, I'll be good. I have it, so I turned them down all the way to the second to the lowest setting. So hopefully that'll really loosen us up a little bit. I just gotta get a good contact point for this punch. Can't seem to get that. Let's see if I can turn it this way. That way I have better contact points. There we go. Now we got her moved all the way down to the second to lowest setting. I know it's probably going to be kind of hard to see, but we got it moved down. So now the shock should be a lot smoother. So we'll get it put back on the bike, and then we should be done with the rear end, and then time to move on to the front end. All right, you guys, we got the rear end completely put back together. I mean, it rolls all right. I mean, I haven't really like rode it yet, but I mean, I definitely know that wheel bearing is going to grenade on me eventually because I messed it up. But I think it'll be all right for the time being. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm taking apart the front end to fix that tie rod. She's a little... And then also figure out why. Maybe I'll just spray some lubricant down in there. Maybe that'll fix me up. Because I'm really wondering what that squeaking is, and I know that's gonna annoy me. But yeah, we're gonna work on that tie rod right now. I'm gonna get the tie rod end off the other foiler, put it on there, and we should be all right after that. And then this squeaking, which I'm just gonna hit with some lubricant. I cannot tell what is making that noise, and it is going to irritate me. But anyway, I'll get all that figured out, get the smaller tires put on here, and then we'll figure it out from there. All right, we got the tie rod off the other bike. Now time to install it on this one. And then that might be it for right now, because, oh yeah. So definitely with the issue of the squeaking is definitely coming from this side of the bike, because I know that because after I took this tire off, no more squeaking at all. So I know the squeaking is either coming from this tie rod, which it could definitely be. I might as well replace it too. Or it's coming from the upper or lower ball joint. But the upper and lower ball joint doesn't look bad. So I'm gonna go out. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where the squeaking's coming from right there, is that tie rod. So both tie rods need to be replaced. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna replace both of the tie rods then I'll cut you guys to when it's put back together. All right, guys. I'm wore out for the day on this thing. I've got it all put back together. Got the front tires on. Both tie rods have been replaced on both sides. Now, when you turn, there's only a little squeak, but other than that, it is solid. We got the muffler swapped over. It was very janky. It is very janky, but the muffler is swapped over. It is not. I took the HMF pipe off because that thing is ridiculously loud for no reason. And we got this muffler on. Had to do a little bit of tin foil in there as a spacer, just so there's a little bit less chance of a exhaust leak, which I know it will. I know it will leak, but it won't be bad, and hopefully this muffler will help it out. I'm honestly half tempted to try and start it. I kind of want to start it. Hold on. All right, got the battery hooked back up. Now it's on. See what it sounds like. Sounds like a whole lot of nothing right now. Definite carburetor issues, but it's a lot quieter. Oh, let me put that air filter on, maybe that's why. So still a very loud exhaust leak, but all in all, I say it's partially a success. Take it out for a little rip here. Let me get this Let me get this, whatever, whatchamacallit, part spoiler out of the way. All right. There's gonna be a little bit of sketch, but I like it better with these tires. I don't have my gears on here. Reverse. Headlights are a little floppy. It'll be all right. Oh yeah. See, this is just like that popping, that backfiring that I'm hearing. That's what I don't like, and I think the car's just out of tune. See what kind of top speed we get. Oh god, that's horrible. 34, 38, 41, 44. I don't even feel comfortable getting this thing up higher speeds than that. Jesus Lord. That is scary. Oh my god, this thing has power. 44, 49, 51. That is scary. That is scary. 51 miles an hour. That's, I wonder if we can make a wheelie. Oh yeah, we can. Wow. Yeah, I like that. There's my rear brake. It's better once it gets warmed up. All right. Cool. Okay. Nice. This thing is scary. Okay, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. In the next video, I'll video putting the snorkel kit on because I just ordered that last night. But that's gonna wrap up today's video. And I'd say it runs good after it warms up. Like, I'm not even kidding. Once you get it warm, the sputter goes away. So I think we're all right. It's still loud because it still has an exhaust leak. I'll probably fix that when I get a little, I'll probably go buy a little MIG welder here in the future to weld that up. Be done with it. But this thing is nice. I really like it. 51 miles an hour is what we got it to on the road. Now compare that to the Rancher. The Rancher only made it to, I think, 38. So big difference. Big difference. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned for more videos to come. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.